Welcome to Six Picks Music Club bonus content.
Okay, well, so one other thing that was crazy about that time, 9/11. It's I know about it now. I wasn't in the thing of it then. Is because this was all sort of pre-Dave being a Wilco fan, but their critically heralded Yankee Hotel Foxtrot record was initially scheduled to release on 9/11. But it got delayed, more so because they were in this kind of battle with their label. There was a merger, and I think it was Reprise Records that merged with Time Warner Brothers or something.
Records, I think, was like one of the subsidiaries.
yeah, basically. Anyway,
it was it was a tough time.
After they turned in the record, the label was like, I don't think that there's like a hit on here. This is not a very commercial record. We'd like you to, kind of punch up a couple of things for radio play. And they're like, no, this is the record. We delivered it per our contract and it's done. So you're like, okay, well, if you're not going to change it, then maybe you guys should just like move along and you're fired. And they're like, cool, we're out of here.
Did they get to take the record with them?
Well, so they initially had offered to like buy the record for $50,000 so that they could then like self-distribute it. But then the label came back and said, no, you can just have it for free. And they're like, okay. So they did that, and then they got on another label, Nonesuch, which is like a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, and then they still put out the record anyway.
They're like, hey, how's it going? We have a completed record, professionally made.
What if I told you? No upfront capital. Here's the good news. We've done the work.
Well, so this is an interesting time for the band, right? Because and if you haven't listened to this record, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, just like pause the podcast and go listen to it right away because it's incredible. Okay, you did that. Welcome back. Album art is very simple, but it's like the Marina Towers in Chicago. Against that sort of blank khaki background. So it's literally an image of two towers.
Two towers.
They look kind of like corn cobs sticking up, but
against like a nice camo beige.
Yeah. And not too shortly after that, leaks of the song started popping up online. Whatever happened, songs got out either from the label who was like, no, we got to reject this because it's no good or whatnot. But like, all the torrent sites, all the download sites, they started to have all these bootlegs, these leaks of the different songs from this record. And so like to kind of combat this idea of, poor song streams that, low data, quality, blah, 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 the band just decided they're going to put out the record on their own. And so they self-released it just streaming on their website the week after 9/11. So it was like the 18th of September. And so when they went back to the new label, when they went back to Nonesuch, like they had a huge fan following of this record already. Like I think it increased the stream or the activity to the site by, I don't know, 50,000 visits or something in the first day. And then it was like 5 times their normal load for the next 2 weeks. And so they already had like a hit record ready to go and they just got to plug it in. But, yeah, that's a crazy record because because
people at that time still you still needed to have a CD if you want to listen to in your car or on the you didn't have a phone to listen to or whatever. So even though they're streaming it for free, they're like, well, we still have to buy it.
I gotta burn it somehow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you could burn it. You're right. I didn't think about burning it. You're right.
But still, I mean, even with that, it's a lot of effort. It's not as simple as it is today. And what's interesting there is the 18th. I mean, it's a ballsy move to go a week later and still release your artwork to the world who's reeling from a globally impactful event. So to recognize the environment that you're in, put something out. And what's interesting about that is how much people still yearn for, they still want the art, maybe probably more so in moments of total peril. This is it's interesting psychological study about the idea of the world's crumbling around you. What are you going to go engage in? If tomorrow's it, you're going to fuck around with your bank account, you're going to fuck around with your job or whatever. You're going to go find your favorite art, your favorite music, your favorite food, your favorite fuck, whatever it is.
You're going to look for comfort.
Yeah. You're going to go absorb the marrow of life, which falls roundly within this this world that you guys talk about every week or every other week.
All the sports were postponed, and like the first sports event to come back was a Yankees game, and President Bush like went out and threw a strike for the first pitch, and it was just like, it was this moment, I think, where something just really like American, but it did like answer that bell for a lot of people of like, okay, things are going to be okay. Like we got baseball back.
You imagine like he's like president and how much pressure, like the most pressure he felt at that time was like, I can't look like a bitch out here.
Right before he walks out there, like, listen, you have to fucking throw a strike right now. Okay. If you dirt this thing in front of the plate, they win. They're going to win. He's like, oh, shit, Cheney. Come on, man. Don't tell me that. Come on, Cheney. Give me a little wiggle room.
I think in fairness, he was probably the one of the only presidents that could have actually pulled that off. He used to own the Texas Rangers, for God's sake. So he'd been around baseball his whole life.
And like yacked out. He was like, give me a bump, baby. We're going to get this bitch over the plate.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. Anyway, some of the lyrics from this record are kind of like... because everybody started to consume this in a post 9/11 world, like it's a lot of it they look at as sort of being prophetic, because there's like the lyrics from Jesus, etc., Ashes of American Flags, War on War, all these tracks that are just sort of like they came out at this time, and because it was like one of the first major albums to be released digitally in a moment of national mourning, all of these people sort of gave it this, connected it to this other thing that was just like the whole world was experiencing it. So that was a crazy thing, and
it was a crazy thing.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Well, it's interesting because you look at any art that is of value, and Tweety seems to continue to put out just kind of excellent work over and over again. And the interpretive nature of music and what it stands for, when you write a really great song or you're really tapping into the human experience, that interpretation can take, as I think it's Dave Grohl that was like, you can sing a song to 85,000 people and they shout it back at you for 85,000 different reasons, Mm-hmm. And it's that idea of we all can connect to something that drives down to the core of who we are and the experiences we're having, and we can interpret it the ways we need to interpret it for each individual and each experience and each perspective. Not to take anything away from what I am sure that record did for a lot of people and how it feels, or how it felt, to experience it. But
if you can write something that's open to interpretation enough,
and people are clamoring for meaning in these moments of peril, when the shit hits the fan, we all want to connect and coalesce around something, and so we're really good at interpreting things the way we need them to believe.
Oh, I know. I can take a song that has nothing to do with what's going on. I can bend it around. This song's about me right now. Oh yeah, and I definitely know how to do that.
My favorite karaoke song is a Fiona Apple tune, and I'm positive she didn't write it for my perspective, but I'll sell that shit all day. I've been a bad girl, boys. That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so when people hear Jeff Tweedy sing, tall buildings shake, voices escape, singing sad songs, like a week after we've watched the towers come down.
I mean,
like,
that's close.
That's good. Kind of on the nose, right?
It's pretty on the nose.
And then like, I'd like to salute the ashes of American flags. Just like that. I don't know that there's a more patriotic fucking lyric in the world. That's just like, I don't know. It's incredible. He's an incredible songwriter, and I couldn't pass up an opportunity to talk about Jeff Tweedy and Wilco as we sit here on the eve of 9/11.
I am a little bit disappointed that Jeff is not here to remind us about your Wilco bar fight and then to voice the woman who you were fighting with, because that's always one of my favorite things he does.
I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to do it for him. Jeff, that's for you, buddy. That's for you, Jeff.